Hello classmates, my name is Stephen Jacobs. Today I will be going through chapters 1 through 4 of our assigned reading, On Writing Well by William Zinsser. Today I'll be going through part 1 of Principles, starting with chapter 1, which is titled The Transaction. In The Transaction, William shares a short story about a surgeon named Dr. Brock and himself being called to take part in a panel discussion concerning writing. For William, writing is his job. However, for Dr. Brock, writing is his avocation, or writing is his hobby. Throughout the discussion, the questions that are given to both of the authors are answered as polar opposites. For Dr. Brock, writing is easy. For William, writing is hard. For William, feelings such as depression or unhappiness really doesn't hinder his writing, for he says that if your job is to write every day, you learn to do it like any other job. However, Dr. Brock responds with depression and unhappiness probably will affect your writing, and that you should go fishing or just take a walk, to relieve stress or anxiety, and then come back and start again once you're finished. The point that William is making here is that when it comes to writing, there is not just one right way for doing it, for writing is personal. William goes on to say that when it comes to writing, there are all kinds of writers and all kinds of writing methods, and any method that helps you say what you want to say is the right method for you. William claims that this is the personal transaction that's at the heart of good nonfiction writing. William claims that this is the personal transaction that's at the heart of good nonfiction writing. Humanity and warmth are the two most important points for the writer to grasp for good writing. Humanity and warmth deals with putting oneself on paper in a way that is easily and eagerly readable. It is the art of expressing oneself with sheer literary eloquence. The transaction is from the writer to the reader. For William, good writing has an aliveness that keeps the reader from one paragraph to the next, and it's not a question of gimmicks to personalize the author. It's a question of using the English language in such a way that it will achieve the greatest clarity and strength. For chapter 2, titled Simplicity, William is making the argument that there is too much clutter in writing. William says that clutter is the disease of American writing. Quite a bold statement. And that the secret of good writing is to strip every sentence to its cleanest parts, to its barest bones. Many of us may have had a professor tell us when we write or our research paper, do not put any fluff in it. What does this mean? It means that when writing, the temptation can be to fill in your paper with as many words as you can to satisfy the amount of pages required. However, William is saying that when it comes to writing, the writer needs to write with utter simplicity and remove all excessive clutter that is within the manuscript. Use the words that you need and throw away the ones that you don't. Writing needs to be clear. Writing needs to be removed from all fluff, and writing needs to be simple. William says that writing is hard work. It is. A clear sentence is no accident. Very few sentences come out right the first time or even the third time. Remember, this in the moments of despair. If you find that writing is hard, it's because it is hard. For chapter 3, titled Clutter, William says that writing improves in direct ratio to the number of things we can keep out of it that shouldn't be there. What William is saying is that you reap what you sow when it comes to writing. The amount of clutter that you take out of your paper is the same amount of clarity that you will gain within the same. Clutter is what hinders simplicity, and simplicity is what hinders clutter. William states that clutter is the laborious phrase that has pushed out the short word that means the same thing. William's argument is that you are using unnecessary clutter when you use phrases like at this present time instead of simply saying right now or now. Or at the present time we are experiencing precipitation rather than just saying it's raining. Every profession has its own jargon, and William is pleading with other writers to refrain from using it. Williams has made a profound impact on the writing of his students by putting all of the words within their papers that appear to be clutter within brackets. Then he tells them to decide on leaving them in or taking them out. He leaves it up to them to decide. William mentions that most first drafts can be cut by 50% without losing any information or losing the author's voice. The key words that William gives at the end of this chapter is simplify, simplify. Chapter 4, titled Style, in short, deals with bringing yourself within that which you are writing about. William says that when it comes to style, there is no style store. Style is organic to the person doing the writing, as much a part of him as his hair, or if he is bald, his lack of it. The guy's a jokester. Trying to add style is like adding a toupee. It gives a good visual. This point is that he doesn't look like himself. William goes on to say that readers want the person who is talking to them to sound genuine. Makes sense. Therefore, fundamental rule is be yourself. William makes the argument that when you write, you should write in the first person as long as the first person is allowed. William states that writers are obviously at their most natural when they write in the first person. Writing is an intimate transaction between two people conducted on paper, and it will go well to the extent that it retains its humanity. Writing with style is writing in such a way that you are being yourself on paper, even if you don't use I. William drives home the point that good writers are visible just behind their words. If you aren't allowed to use I, at least think I while you write, or write the first draft in the first person, then take the I's out. It will warm up your impersonal style, he says. In conclusion, when it comes to writing, remember that you are writing to be read, transaction. Remember that simplicity is key in writing. Remember to remove all clutter, and also remember to be yourself, which is style. Thanks again, class. My name is Stephen Jacobs. This concludes my presentation on Writing by William Zinsser, chapters 1 through 4. I hope that this helped you and blessed you in some way. And with that, I say, Jesus bless.